Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Madisonville Marine. Right now at Madisonville Marine, you can get up to $1,500 back on select models of G3 boats. And with G3's Military Service Appreciation Instant Rebate, you can save even more if you are active or retired military. That includes National Guard. So that's up to $2,500 off on select G3 boats at Madisonville Marine right now. And don't forget, they got a boat show coming up right here in Knoxville in a couple of weeks. But check out madmarine.com, get down to Highway 411 North in Madisonville, and check out Mad Marine in person to learn more about this great deal. Want to welcome in these great additions to our panel. Great Bob Hodge, great Ryan Callahan. Good to have you with us. All right, two interesting pieces of news this week from the Tennessee coaching staff perspective. Robert Gillespie, who took part in all of the signing day celebrations, and it looked like he was going to be on the staff. Everyone thought he was going to be the lone holdover. Nope. He got gone this week. Rumors swirl that maybe after the celebrations, he had complained that everybody else had longer contracts than he did. He was still on a one-year deal. Rumors swirl that maybe he complained about his pay. He has told people that's not the case, but people are wondering, okay, well, something changed. Then there are others who believe, well, they talked to Chris Weinke back in December. I think that they had Weinke lined up all along, and they knew they were going to get rid of Gillespie. My question would be, why did you wait till after the celebrations and a couple of days past that to do it? At any rate, Gillespie's out. We'll talk about Weinke coming in a second, but Bob, your thoughts on Gillespie?
I just thought that it had to feel after it settled down that this was something that Jeremy Pruitt was probably going to do all along. I mean, you go back and you look at it, you keep Gillespie around during that transition period when Pruitt is not on campus as much. He's down there with Alabama. You've got somebody who's familiar with the school, familiar with the players that are on campus, and helping you recruit. The timing of it is kind of odd, but I just get the feeling that this is something that was going to happen. You know, if it wasn't going to happen, then why didn't you go ahead and offer him the same kind of contract that the other guys got, which was 2 years longer than his, and left him on a one-year contract? So I kind of think if you back up and look at it, it seemed to me it was something that was going to happen.
I maybe wouldn't go that far, but I do think there's maybe some truth to him wanting to sit back and evaluate Robert Gillespie. He was the one guy on the staff that he really didn't know from any previous relationship. They'd never worked together before. I think you want to see how it goes, and giving it through signing day kind of let him get a feel for the first couple of months on the job, how he would do, and assessing what they're inheriting at running back, assessing how he did in recruiting, and maybe just personality too. We've seen this before. Jay Graham was initially retained by Butch Jones, ended up deciding not to stick around. I think maybe the same thing happened in this case where maybe on Pruitt's end this time he just decided the personality wasn't a fit.
Mike, I thought it was interesting. Philip Fulmer came out this week and let it be known that Gillespie wasn't happy about it. He said it's a big boy business. There's some irony there because Philip Fulmer was emotional when he was let go. So he should understand that you beat big boys, but it can upset you. Thoughts on Gillespie's opportunities now, because you're cut loose at a time when there aren't a lot of spots open. So if you're Robert Gillespie, I can kind of understand his point of view on this thing.
Well, he was run. I believe he was a really good recruiter. That's the impression I had. So that will make him attractive somewhere, and I think that's why a lot of Tennessee fans were glad that he was retained. But when the salaries came out and the contracts came out, personally, I was surprised that a bunch of new guys were getting paid a lot more than he was. And you know, I don't know what to read into that, but.
Well, if he can't find another slot out there, and again, it's late in the game. A lot of these staffs are full. He gets his $550,000 one way or the other.
Yeah.
One possibility would be going back to Oklahoma State, even though it may not be as a running back coach per se. There is an opening there.
There would be NFL openings as well. They may not be for a full-time slot like he's got here, but it might take the. And here's the other thing: if he goes somewhere, he can still be working, and then tell them, "I'll work for $10,000 and make UT pay me the rest." That's possible as well. Chris Weinke played baseball for the Knoxville Blue Jays many years ago. Then he went to Florida State, won the Heisman Trophy, was injured in that Fiesta Bowl that Tennessee beat Florida State for the national championship game. He didn't play, obviously. He has coached with the Panthers and Rams in the NFL. He's coached for IMG Academy, which is good for recruiting. And he was an offensive analyst last year for Alabama. Now he'll be Tennessee's running back coach. And to be honest, he's kind of like Rich Bisaccia a few years ago. You know, he was always getting mentioned with the Tennessee job. Butch Jones tried to bring in Chris Weinke at one point. Quick thoughts on Chris Weinke.
I just think it's curious that it's going to be as a running backs coach. And this is the type of change that I think maybe we won't know for a year, and maybe it'll be 2. But to me, there's just as good a chance this could blow up. I mean, Gillespie.
Well, hang on, hold on to that. We'll discuss that next segment. Good
but
job.
I mean, you are getting somebody who can recruit in Florida, and I think that's where a lot of this is going to have to pay off. But I mean, it's the curious to me that it's going to be as the running backs coach.
And we'll cover that next segment.
I'll tell you, I like the hire because it's a guy, this is a guy widely regarded as an up-and-coming coach. Right. People think he's going to be a future offensive coordinator, head coach maybe. If he's going to be that kind of guy and you get him for a couple of years as a running backs coach, it's another mind to add to the offensive room. That helps on the offensive side where you've got a first-time play caller. So I think it's something good to add to the mix and another good recruiter potentially.
All right, speaking of adding another mind to the offensive room, another surprise move this week. Jeremy Pruitt went out and hired a junior college coach from the Northeast, Joe Acevet. Is that pronounced right?
I think so.
I think so.
We're all assuming at this point. He's not here yet, I don't think. Joe Acevet will be coming on board as a quality control coach, but he has a reputation as a really good offensive mind. I have no problem with going out and finding these guys. That's how Chip Kelly was found. That's, the Patriots and now the Lions head coach Matt Patricia. Kind of one of these guys that they just said, well, this guy's a genius, let's take a shot on him. Some of these guys that have that reputation, go grab them. I got no problem with it. Seems like the fans are behind it. I will only point out, if this had been Butch Jones, hiring a junior college coach to be anywhere on his staff, you'd have had people freaking out.
He did it, though, one time.
And people freaked out. All we heard was what a terrible staff he had. So I think it's interesting. Now, maybe the fact that Pruitt's got a good staff coming in.
What's interesting to me about this fit, I think it's odd that this is a guy that has a background heavily based in RPOs, run pass options, not something you would associate with a pro style offense. So that's interesting to me if he's bringing that element to this offense at all, not something we would have expected to see.
And it's more of a vertical style RPO that they use. It's very much getting down the field, so it'll be interesting to see if one thing that we talked about last week, Tyson Helton talked about, we're going to be a team that runs the ball and we're going to chuck it deep. We're going to throw that sucker deep. And now you're bringing in an RPO guy who's his forte with the RPO is stretching the field with it. A little different than a lot of people run it. Anyway, okay, when we come back, Chuck touched on it. Chris Weinke is going to be moving to coaching running back, something he hasn't done before. A lot of the guys on the staff will either be first-timers overall or first-timers coaching a position group. We'll discuss that next. Come on back on The Sports Source.